Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. We had a little corona scare this week and a trip to the emergency room, so guess who has a mask now? Me. Guess who doesn't have corona though? Also me. Today's video is not my typical vlog. Today's video is going to be spilling some tea on Brandy Melville. I worked at Brandy for 5 years. I literally started like the last week that I was 15 and worked there through the beginning of my junior year of college. Hey, I just wanted to clarify really quickly that over the course of the 5 years, I worked in a few different positions. I started as a sales associate, which is like the entry-level job. And then when I turned 18, I moved up to being a key holder, which is like more of a management position. And then in the summer of 2018, I believe, I started working as a product research employee, I guess you could call it. And when that's your job, like you're basically in charge of like testing out samples and like trying stuff on and like picking out the clothes for the store. And when I was doing that, that was when I was like going to China and like shooting for the Instagram at GovBall and stuff. And I truly don't have anything bad to say personally about my experience working there. Obviously that's why I worked there for 5 years. And I fully only left my job there because I wanted to pursue something bigger. That was my family for a very long time, and I truly have nothing bad to say about them, but I do have some fucking crazy stories from my time working there, and I don't think that this will be getting anyone in trouble. So Stefan, Luca, if you're watching, ciao. I have nothing bad to say. Please don't file a lawsuit on me. We're still family. So I don't know if you guys have seen this trend going around on social media. A bunch of people doing these bingo things on their Instagram stories, and there's one for like girls who've worked at Brandy, and it's the Brandy bingo, and it says things like, if you've ever gotten something thrown at you by a mom, if you've ever had a Yelp review written about you. And so I thought I could go through these things, and because I've worked there for 5 years, I can literally check off all of these boxes. Like I have bingo 5 times. And I could tell you some really fucking crazy stories from my time working there.
Put a finger down working at Brandy Melville edition. Put a finger down if you've been working there for over a year. Put a finger down if you've ever caught someone stealing. Put a finger down if a mom's ever screamed at you for not having something in stock. Put a finger down if anyone's ever asked you how you started working there. Put a finger down if your closet is 80% Brandy Melville. Put a finger down if you've ever cried at work. Put a finger down if you've had your weight commented on by a customer. Put a finger down if you've gotten written up. Put a finger down if you've had someone pee in the fitting room while you were working. Put a finger down if Brandy's ever posted a picture of you. Put a finger down if you've had to stay at the store past midnight for an overnight. Put a finger down if you've gotten your store style taken in the store and people stared at you. Put a finger down if you've had to take a picture of a girl's store style. Put a finger down if the owners have given you free olive oil. And put a finger down if you're sad that Brandy Melville closed.
And I thought I could explain some of the things in that too, like having customers pee in the store. I don't really shop there anymore. I don't work there anymore. This is just like a funny commentary video that I thought would be fun for you guys. So yeah, so let's go through this list, the Brandy bingo list first. First thing, have you ever gotten something thrown at you by a mom? Yes. Mainly this would always be clothes. I don't know, moms tend to be worse customers than their daughters. I feel awful saying this, but if you've worked in retail, I feel like you'll agree with me. Moms are just sassy. They're the kind of people that are like, can I speak with your manager? You know what I mean? So there were a lot of times when moms would just get sassy and like throw things at you, like say you wouldn't accept their return because it had been more than 14 days, and like we also wouldn't do returns, we only did store credit or exchange. There were moms that would get really angry about that and refuse to take the item back, and they would just like throw it at us. That happened to me multiple times. Spent half your paycheck on La Colombe. That's like more of a New York Brandy girl thing. La Colombe's a coffee shop in Soho, and all of the Brandy stores are there. If you ever left a sensor on something, guilty of doing that too. Use the store perfume on yourself. Oh, this is good tea. People have DM'd me multiple times asking like what fragrance the store uses and like what's the Brandy Melville smell, can they buy it, that kind of thing. And I know what it is. I'll let you in on the secret. Back in the day when I started working there in 2015, we would spray Chanel Chance Automne, the pink bottle of Chanel Chance, around the store, and I think that honestly got too expensive, because they couldn't just like be going through bottles of Chanel perfume at every Brandy store, but that was the signature scent for a really long time. Anyways, now they manufacture their own store fragrance and they call it a store perfume. I am guilty of spraying it on myself. Like anytime I had an opening shift where I would be in the store by myself, I definitely would spray it. Robin, if you're watching, you can go back and check the cameras honestly and watch me like douse myself in store perfume, because there would be days like, you know, I'm not gonna get into it. The next one is if you've ever caught someone stealing, and honestly, I have caught countless thieves. Honestly, it's just part of the job. Like any time that you are staffed in the fitting room, like you are trained to look out for people that are stealing merchandise. But it wouldn't even just be like times when I was in the fitting room. Like I would catch girls like slipping things into their tote bags on the floor. And most of the stores that I worked in, which I worked in Boston, the first Boston store, the second Boston store, after they moved, Fifth Avenue, Prince, Broadway, Lafayette. I think that's all of them. 6 Brandies. I've worked in 6 Brandies, and most of them had security guards, so normally when I would catch people stealing, I would just tell the security guard. I do have a funny story, and I don't know why I forgot to tell it when I filmed this video, but the first week that I was working at Brandy, literally before I even turned 16, I caught these girls stealing in the fitting room one night when I was working before we closed, and it was just me and the manager. Her name was Shanique. Shanique, if you're watching, miss you, girl. But yeah, I caught these girls stealing in the fitting room, and when we tried to confront them, because it was just us, they literally tried to fight us. Like, they fully were, like, threatening to throw hands, and we called the police, and they ran out of the store, and when the police came, they were able to catch some of them, but it was, like, a group of, like, really rowdy girls, and I have no idea where they are now, because it was years and years ago, and I'm sure they didn't get in that much trouble, because they were stealing from Brandy Melville, but I just wanted to tell that story, because they were literally threatening to, like, punch us in the face, and I thought that was funny. You're allowed to, like, ask someone to look in their bag, but you're not allowed to chase them, which I did see happen. I've never chased anyone. I have seen girls get chased out of the store because they're trying to, like, run away. It's never fun. We, like, have to call your parents if you're under 18, and if you're over 18, we have to call the police, so don't steal, and if you do steal, don't get caught. If you ever witnessed a TikTok being filmed, that's boring. Have you ever had a mom call you stupid? Yes. Literally so many times. I don't want to get into it. If you ever did an overnight past midnight? Yes. For those of you guys, I'm gonna zoom this in a little more. So basically what an overnight is, it's when you stay past closing time of the store to redo the visual merchandising throughout. Like, you basically just change where everything is in the store, and that's why you go into Brandy like a week after you went last time and you can't find anything because it's all in a different place and everything's organized differently. Yeah, that's what we do at overnights. I don't really know why. I think it's just to like keep it fresh, but like we would literally be doing them once a week over the summer. And there would be times when we did them where we'd have to do an inventory count as well, which is where you just count every single item in the store and like make a list. Like, we have 28 blue and white striped duffel bags. We have 45 gold star chokers, like all of that. But like, there was so much inventory that there would be times over the summer, or there was really just one time over the summer this past year that I was there from 2 p.m. the day before, like working a regular shift. We closed and started an overnight inventory count, and I didn't get to leave until we opened the next day at 8 a.m. Like, when the opener came at 8 a.m., that's when I left, y'all. Have you ever cried in a fitting room? Yes. There were times when other employees made me cry, specifically just like higher up people that would come to visit the store and like just made life really hard for a lot of us, and made our jobs really hard and just like made me want to quit multiple times. There were times when they made me cry. There were times when customers made me cry and I would cry in the fitting room. Yeah, I cried a lot there. I feel like there's like videos on my phone of me crying at Brandy, to be honest. If you've ever been hit on by a dad, yeah, that's also more common of an occurrence than I thought it would be. Or maybe it just feels common because I worked there for so long and it happened to me like on multiple instances. But yeah, there were some like weird dads that I was like, I'm literally the same age as your daughter, like, chill out.
Single dads that would like come in with their daughters loved to quiz me about the music that we played in the store, because we'd always play like Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin, and just like classic rock, and it just got really annoying and frustrating after a while.
Met someone you didn't know was famous? No, but I did witnessed a lot of famous customers come in. Like one time Taylor Swift came into the Boston store. Lana Del Rey had been into the New York store before. Like other people, but like not like as famous. A bunch of like the Victoria's Secret models and stuff shop at the New York store, so like it would be really common to see them. And like one time Sofia Coppola came. That was epic. Had people watch you get your staff style taken? Yeah, a lot of people talk about this in their like Brandy experience videos, like when they talk about what it was like to work there. And it's basically like every day you have to come in and get a photo of you taken for your staff style. And that gets sent in a big group chat with like the corporate team. And like they say that it's to like look at your outfit and get inspiration, and that's true, and I know that because I worked in product research for a while, but it is also just so that they can see like who their staff is and like what they look like. But yeah, so sometimes they would take them inside of the store and it would be so awkward because people would like watch you and they would assume that like you were getting your picture taken for the Brandy Melville Instagram, and like they would stare, but like it was never actually that cool. Like, you were just getting your picture taken to have your photo sent to corporate and they could like spy on you, you know? But yeah, they would often send like the cool outfits or like the cool girls in like a second group chat for product research, and like often copy a lot of the stuff that they wore that wasn't Brandy, or, you know, pick those girls to do other projects like Instagram shoots and stuff like that. Like, that's often how the models get cast. Like everyone wants to know like how to be like a Brandy girl, like a Brandy model. But truth be told, like a lot of the girls on the Instagram are just employees from the store that corporate saw and liked and wanted for pictures. It's really that simple. Picked something gross up from a fitting room. Okay, this ties into the TikTok where someone peed. There were a lot of times I picked up gross things from the fitting room, like a condom, a tampon, just like old underwear that people left behind us. Like, why did you leave the fitting room without your underwear? But then yeah, there was also the time when I had to clean up pee from a fitting room, so I could say someone left that behind. They left their pee behind in the fitting room. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Put a finger down if you've had your weight commented on by a customer.
Oh my god. Every single day. I don't even know where to begin with this one. Like, first of all, I truly believe that it is never right to comment on someone else's body or appearance, like whether they're big or small. But for some reason, because as a brand, Brandy Melville puts such an emphasis on the figure of their customers, like, I think a lot of their customers feel uninhibited when it comes to commenting on the appearances of the workers, like even to their faces. And so every single day when I worked there, I would get a comment about my weight or a comment about the way I looked.
Put a finger down if you've gotten written up.
No. Getting written up is like just like an infraction. Like, it's like you're in trouble and you get a write-up. It's pretty self-explanatory, and if you get multiple, you get fired, you're let go.
Put a finger down if Brandy's ever posted a picture of you. Put a finger down if you've had to stay at the store past midnight for an overnight.
We explained this
Put a finger
already.
down if you've gotten your store style taken in the store and people stared at you.
We explained
Put a
this
finger down if
already.
you've had to take a picture of a girl's store style.
Yes.
Put a finger down if the owners have given you free olive oil.
No. Okay, I wanted to explain that too. Sorry, I was gonna do like a weird ventriloquy thing. So the owners of the company are Italian. I don't think that's a secret to anybody, but on the side, Stefan is an olive oil connoisseur, an olive oil entrepreneur, and he has his own olive oil company. So yeah, sometimes I guess as gifts they'll give olive oil to some of the staff. I never got olive oil. I'm not salty about it.
Put a finger down if you're sad that Brandy Melville closed.
Oh, that's the last one. A lot of people were like, what? Brandy Melville closed? But yeah, it's temporary. All businesses are shut down because of Corona. I'm not sad about it. I mean, I'm kind of sad because I can't even order online. That's just because their warehouses are in Italy. But, you know, I'm not that sad about it being closed. Although I feel really sad for my friends that still work there and are currently unemployed. That fucking sucks, and they should be paying them. But that's all I gotta say. If you made it all the way through the video and you got to this point, comment bologna sandwich down below. Just because I'm curious, I want to see something. If you did make it this far though, thank you so much. Make sure you're subscribed, and yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay healthy, all my love. Catch me on TikTok.